please rise. And before we do our pledge, I'd like to just take a moment here. Before tonight's meeting, I'd like to take a moment and pause to reflect in honor of veterans. Let us remember the brave men and women who have served our nation, those who stood for freedom, who sacrificed for others, who continue to inspire through their courage and devotion. I ask you to join me in a moment of silence in both gratitude and in prayer for all the veterans and their families and those serving still around the world today. Today I'm honored to stand next to someone who is currently serving. He's a ranking of ensign in our United States Coast Guard, and that is our own Edwin King, if you lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening and welcome to Fort Mitchell City Council. I'm Mayor Jude Neiman. Today is November the 10th, 2025. And with me today, I already introduced, but our city administrator, and thank you for your service once again, Edwin King.
Good evening.
Our city treasurer and city clerk, Amy Gunther.
Good evening.
And to my left is our city attorney, Olivia Amlon.
Good evening.
And Amy, would you do roll, please?
Mr. Arlinghouse?
Here.
Ms. Berger?
Here.
Mr. Deathridge?
Here.
Mr. Dietrich?
Here.
Ms. Notkazel? Here. Mr. Polgiers?
Here.
Dr. Rhodey? Here.
Okay, Council, we have a quorum. You received the agenda. Is there any changes?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Mr. Deathridge?
Second.
Second, Ms. Berger. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Next, council, on the agenda is our October 13th, 2025 meeting minutes. Is there any changes? Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Polgiers?
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Arlinghouse. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Next on our agenda, moving right along, I'm very excited, but saddened too. Jeff, our representative Jeff Bethel, has asked to retire, to step away from the Planning Commission. And I met Mr. Bethel 2014, and he was running for City Council, and I was running for mayor. And Mr. Bethel lost doing that. But through that whole experience, I've got to know Jeff, and what an amazing man of faith and integrity. And I asked him back then, when I first became mayor, if he would consider being on our planning commission. He's got a background in construction and safety and management and a lot of other things in engineering. And I asked him to get involved for the city. And I had no idea what type of ask that was. That is it is the most important, I feel, any mayor can do, is given is this appointment to the Planning Commission, because it represents Fort Mitchell, but it evolves, and everything within the county, every development, every planning, every zoning. Mr. Bethel didn't just go to meetings, he got involved. He was involved in the bylaws committee meeting, implementation committee, and also the Z21, which we've all passed, and that was just a lot of work. So it's not something he just sat around. He really, truly represented the city of Fort Mitchell. So the last 10 years, he's been doing that. 3 years previous to that, I think he was part of our code enforcement. So 13 years of service, unless I'm missing something, that's a lot to give. And I just want to really ask maybe Councilman Polgiers, who's on the executive board for PDS. Josh Weiss is here, and he's the executive director. But to meet Mr. Bethel, present him with this, we'll take a picture, and we'll give Mr. Bethel a moment to have a few words. service to the city of Fort Mifflin. Congratulations and thanks for all that you do. Jeff, you brought several people here, so I cannot let you go without at least telling us who you brought.
Well, actually, I did not bring anybody. I just found out that they were showing up. I was going to bring my wife, I take that back, but then my daughter showed up, my daughter-in-law and my son, who's the Public Works Director of the city of Fort Wright. So he's very familiar with council meetings. So I'm a third-generation Fort Mitchellite, so to speak. And this has been one of the greatest honors of my life, quite frankly. I care a lot about this city. Like I said, third generation. I grew up here. My grandfather helped build a lot of old Fort Mitchell. And I have a real connection with this city. And to be able to serve this city in the way that you all have allowed me to serve, I greatly appreciate it, and I have tried to we didn't always agree, I'm sure, on things, but I tried to do what I saw was right at the time. And having said that, I think that you've got a very good planning commission down there at the Government Center, too. To a person, every one of them is very committed to helping Kenton County. So I think the county, Fort Mitchell, they're all going to be very well served. So I'll let you get on with your agenda now. I just want to say thank you very much. It's been one of the great honors of my life. Thank you.
Thank you again. It just so happened that the next on our agenda, which Josh will have to follow that, but Josh Weiss, the Executive Director of the Planning Commission Services for Kenton County. Josh, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I was just coming to say hi tonight. I'm making my rounds to all 19 cities to say hello, and I will just say at the last council meeting, they had a very controversial planning commission item on the council agenda. So, but following Mr. Bethel, this is much better than that last council meeting. So. Also, Mr. Bethel didn't tell you, they have, if you're not aware, the Planning Commission, they meet about once a month with committee meetings more than once a month. And sometimes those meetings on Thursday nights go into 11:30 at night, midnight. So it is very much a serious time commitment, and they do take their role very seriously. So we'll miss working with them. Anyways, good evening, council members. As the mayor said, my name is Josh Weiss. I am honored to serve as the Executive Director of Planning and Development Services of Kenton County. And I just appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight to introduce myself or reintroduce myself for some of those that I already work with on a fairly regular basis. I was appointed a few months ago now, believe it or not, after your previous city administrator, my previous boss, went on to be the city manager of Covington. And so the PDS Management Board, Mr. Paul Gears, they in their wisdom, I guess they saw something in me and thought I could.
That's the easiest hire we've ever made, buddy.
thought I could take over as executive director, and it's been great. But anyways, a little bit about my background. I joined PDS over 4 years ago to design and launch the Community Development Initiative, which at the time was an idea for a program to serve all of our communities, all of our cities, and the county itself, and really bridging that gap with the services that PDS already does on a planning and zoning side of things and on a regulatory side of things, but then also seeing how all of our communities can grow and grow in the way that each respective community wants to see their community grow. So I had that role for the past few years prior to becoming executive director. I grew up mainly in Edgewood and have lived in Erlanger for the past several years. Attended Kenton County schools and received my undergraduate and graduate degrees at Northern Kentucky University and Thomas More. So very committed to Kenton County, and this is certainly my home and will be my home. My professional experience before PDS was mostly in city government on the economic development side, both as a city economic development director, and spent a little time across the river on the private side at the Regional Economic Development Initiative as a vice president in Cincinnati, working on projects on a more regional level. And as you all know, PDS, we manage several key functions on behalf of our local government jurisdictions in Kenton County. As I mentioned, planning and zoning, infrastructure engineering, building inspections, GIS or mapping, community development, and then code enforcement as well. Then we also support the Kenton County Planning Commission, the Joint County Board of Adjustment, and the Joint County Code Enforcement Board. And I very much will continue in my role as executive director, viewing that very much as a partner in each local government. I tell our team that we are an extension of your all staff, and we are here to serve you all and serve your residents. For those of you who do already know me, I am very open and very collaborative in everything we do, and that will not change in my new role. So I am available through a phone call or text, and I know with family commitments and professional commitments, you all have a lot going on. So if you need me at a meeting or if we need to talk, happy to do that around your schedule as well. And with that, just know that I think we all have a deep love and dedication for the communities we serve in Kenton County, and I just appreciate the opportunity to work alongside all of you. So, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Happy to answer any questions. Okay, the last city grilled me.
We'll
So.
let you off.
I thought this would be a friendly audience. So thank you. No, it's great, but thank you all.
Thanks for coming out, Josh.
Thank you.
And next on the agenda is citizens and guests. Does anybody like to, Ms. Kaiser?
Do I need to introduce myself? Patty Kaiser, 35 Virginia Avenue. Everyone probably knows I'm the Crossing Guard. And I read this article by Northern Kentucky Tribune about the sidewalk. And I wanted to know when this is going to start. I was kind of taken back by it. I've heard it because you walked up to me. But our school is involved, and it was quoted in here that you talked to a school representative, and so I went to my principal, and she knew nothing about it. And so for the children and the adults that walk Dixie Highway, I think it would be a really nice thing if you could inform the people about this, and you could do that through that sign out front, through emails that we get saying we have all these different programs, because I get that email. And it would be nice, because I thought it was supposed to start this past week, and I was telling people it was starting, and then it's not starting. And so I think it would be nice if you would address when it would start, how it's going to affect the people, and let Blessed Sacrament, the principal, know. Because I'm just a little peon, and I know the principal spoke to Mr. King. So, because I asked her to.
Yeah, so it's right now, we think tentatively it might be the week after Thanksgiving potentially, but we don't have a firm date on the contractor, and really it's just trying to pin down that day. The contractor is supposed to give us a week's notice, and once we have that week's notice, we'll be able to push that out to see what that looks like. I don't know what their schedule looks like until they get back in touch with me on that. So once I know all the details of that, I can share those then with the school and any residences that might be affected.
I think there's a lot of residents that are affected because there's a lot of people that walk Dixie Highway.
Sure. And so with that is traffic control for getting across the street on the the south side of the tunnel. So once I get a firm schedule from the contractor, I'll know more to share. We'll certainly do that. I just don't have that right now.
Okay.
But as soon as I get that, I told principal that we'll share that as soon as we have something.
And I think it would be nice if you shared it with the citizens, because a lot of people don't know about it.
We don't have anything to share yet.
Right, but I don't think people even knew that's what has been projected. And then I talked to, my husband who comes on a regular basis, and I said, was this discussed at the last meeting in October? And he said, yes. And so I thought, I'm going to go back and listen to TBNK. And so I started to watch it, and I saw the woman talk about the scooters, and then all of a sudden it cut off. And so there was only maybe 5 minutes of this past meeting on their site. So, and that way the citizens cannot be informed unless you inform them.
As soon as we get a schedule, we will be doing that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else wish to address council? Go ahead. Yes, Jessica.
Good evening, Council. I just wanted to take a few minutes and introduce myself. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Jessica Remley. I publish the Fort Mitchell Neighbors magazine. And this January is going to be our 3rd anniversary cover, which I appreciate you all agreeing to be on the cover of the January issue. And so thank you so much. It's an honor to serve the city of Fort Mitchell, the neighbors of Fort Mitchell, and I welcome any and all community connections, stories that you think might be great, people that you think might be great to be featured on the cover, which I believe might be a couple people in this room, on council and in the audience. So I just welcome any and all connections so that we can continue sharing stories and connecting the community. So thank you again, and thank you for allowing me to be here tonight.
I think it was really important, for you to come up and at least introduce yourself. When she came to us, I'll say a crazy idea. Can I say that?
Yeah.
We're going to do this and publish a paper, and we're going to go, our magazine, we're going to go out and do this. And you started this from scratch to be able to do that and think that this is going into your 3rd year. We do benefit from it. We did this internally for a while. We were mailing and doing articles, and we were sending schedules for our recreation programs and things, and the expense of that for the printer and publishing that was a lot. And so we found a great value, I think, in partnering with this. Not only the articles, there's a lot of business partners now that are doing this, and we're able to get some messaging out that some people they're not online.
Yeah.
They're not reading, and I think this magazine's a great opportunity, because Fort Mitchell Living magazine was around for a long, long time. And when that closed down, you stepped up.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I didn't think about that. It was a crazy idea, but I have 30 years in the marketing industry, and I wanted to do something that had a little bit more purpose and fulfillment behind it. And so I found a company that published community magazines, and my husband grew up in Fort Mitchell. I'm an Army brat, so I don't have a hometown, and so knowing his connection to the community and hearing his childhood stories, the opportunity knowing that there had been an absence of a community publication and a hole that I could fill, and the opportunity became available. And so I appreciate the support. And yes, we started at 16 pages and grew to 20, and now we're at 24, and expanding business partnerships and sponsorships and community events. So it's been a true honor, and I'm grateful.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Olivia, how about the city attorney's report?
Okay, first up on the city attorney's report, we have a second reading of ordinance 2025-14, which is enacting and adopting a supplement to the code of ordinances.
All right. This is a second reading, council. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Entertain a motion, Mr. Dietrich.
Second.
Second, Ms. Knockhazel. Is there any questions regarding this? Amy, would you, it's an ordinance, call roll.
Mr. Dietrich,
Yes.
Ms. Notkezel,
Yes.
Mr. Arlinghouse,
Yes.
Ms. Berger,
Yes.
Mr. Dethridge,
Yes.
Dr. Roerding,
Yes.
Mr. Polgers.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next up on the city attorney's report, we have a second reading of ordinance 2025-15, which is amending chapter 31 related to the compensation of the next mayor and next council.
Council, we've discussed this in length also. I'm asking for your support on this 2025-15. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Ms. Dr. Roden,
I'll second.
second. Mr. Dethridge, is there any questions or discussion? Amy, would you do roll?
Dr. Roerding,
Yes.
Mr. Dethridge,
Yes.
Mr. Polgers,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Notkezel,
Yes.
Mr. Dietrich,
Yes.
Ms. Berger,
Yes.
Mr. Arlinghouse.
Yes.
All right, motion carries.
Okay, next up on the city attorney's report, this is the first reading of ordinance 2025-16, which is setting the council meeting dates for the calendar year 2026.
Council, if you remember, we used to have different meetings and always the first Monday or different things. We've gone to this as passing as an ordinance because it's a first reading. If there's changes, if you see a mistake or anything else, please get with Edwin about that. We'll entertain changing those. Thank you.
Okay, and finally, on the city attorney's report, we have municipal order 2025-06 for the surplus of public works equipment.
Do we want to, Nick, do you want to go over anything or? Pretty straightforward.
A motion to approve, or that's a first reading.
No, it's
Yeah, it's
municipal,
motion.
so motion approved, yes, by Mr. Dethridge.
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Polgers. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Olivia, that's your report?
That's all for me.
I have a easy report. I'd like to have the mayor's luncheon again. We typically have it every year around the holiday Christmas season. So I'm inviting all of you for the city building December the 19th. We typically have our employees that are working that day bring the public works and such and have a nice luncheon. So if you would put that on your calendar, and reminders will come out. So you're invited to.
Can I bring Cass as well?
We'll see.
Thank you.
Any questions? Edwin, how about city administrator report?
Just a couple of items in Chief Slusher's absence tonight. He's not able to make it tonight. We did just recently have 5 volunteers graduate from Basic 1 class on Saturday. And I'm proud to announce that Ms. Tori Neltner is graduating from the Kentucky Fire Academy on Friday, June the 14th, in Greenville, Kentucky. And she is our first ever candidate to go through the Fire Academy. The state pays for that, for her to go through that. So she will be our first graduate, apparently. In hearing just some feedback from her instructors, it's a 13-week program, and she's been at the top of the class throughout. So
That's great.
that's
really great.
awesome feedback from her. So she, along with the 5 volunteers that graduated the Basic 1 class, they are also going to be submitting their applications to attend the EMT class coming up. So, lastly, we have just received the thermal imaging camera. I believe the chief might have mentioned that in the past. It was a reimbursement grant from the Kentucky Fire Commission, so we pay for it. We're fully reimbursed for that. So we have that ordered and it should be that's all.
Any questions for Edwin? All right. How about members of council? Nothing? All right. Department head report. Amy?
Yes, at your desk, these are just property tax rates for the different cities. So on the first page, you'll notice that we are one of the lowest in Kenton County. And then I do have like a history just to show that there has been decreases in the property tax rates over the last, is that 10 years? Insurance premium tax were one of the lower ones. The payroll taxes were in the middle. Gross receipts were one of the lower ones. Net profits we don't have because we have gross receipts. And then we also do not have tangible personal property taxes. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you very much for this.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank
This is
you.
great, thank you.
excellent information.
You know, I asked Amy to run this for me recently, and I thought this was a great idea to share with council. There's so many people that, you know, ask about their property taxes, they ask about things, and there's other cities that have lowered theirs, and, you know, frankly, maybe they should have, or they're looking for other means, you know, to do that. I think we've, at least over the last 10 years, we've held steadfast on that, but we've put the money towards services, and I think that's what people want. And they don't, I don't know, at least for me, I don't mind they're paying a tax as long as I know where it's going, and it's going for the services, and we have an amazing services, so I'm very proud of this. So, any questions for Amy? Joe, you want to update us on Parks Rec?
Thank you, Mayor. Reminder for those, tomorrow morning is our annual Veterans Day Parade. It begins at 9:30. Veterans who are interested in participating can show up at the Beechwood Swim Club. The route goes from Beechwood Swim Club up Beechwood Road and ends at Dixie Highway. The coolest part about that whole thing is, even though it only lasts like 15 minutes, the coolest part is having the veterans come up, being driven up Beechwood Road and seeing the kids from Beechwood out. I mean, it's packed with kids with their signs in red, white, and blue. It's a pretty cool event, and that's tomorrow at 9:30. Our annual Fort Mitchell Night at the Northern Kentucky Ice Center is Wednesday, November 26th. It's always the day before Thanksgiving. That's from 5:30 to 7:30. We typically have a pretty good crowd for that, a couple hundred people. Show your ID, and you get in for free that night. Again, that's the Fort Mitchell Night at Northern Kentucky Ice Center on Wednesday, November 26th, from 5:30 to 7:30. We have our annual Christmas tree lighting. That's on Sunday, December 7th. That is at 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Iris Road Park. We did it for the first time last year, moving it back to where it used to be, and it went over really well. We have photos with Santa. We have carriage rides. We have tank bus there. We have Fort Mitchell Neighbors Magazine will be there with face painting, a bunch of events, hot chocolate cookies. So again, that is Sunday, December 7th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Iris Road Park. The last thing I have is, I'll just read what we put out on social media today. The City of Fort Mitchell is collecting canned goods this holiday season to help local families in need. Donations will be accepted now through December 1st at the Fort Mitchell City Building, 2355 Dixie Highway, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And this is to help ensure families receive balanced food shares. We also are asking donors to consider bringing multiples of consistent items, like, for example, 20 cans of corn or 15 cans of green beans. And together we can make the season brighter for families in our community. So that just went out today. It's now through December 1st.
Thanks, Joe.
You know, one thing to take into consideration with that, I know a lot of people will get mac and cheese and things like that. Shelf-sustainable milk really goes a long way.
Okay. Shelves.
You know, the little boxes
Yeah.
of milk, yeah.
Okay. So I'll make a note of that, put it out our next time. So I know we'll put it out a couple times. Thank you.
Questions for Joe? One question, Joe, I'll put you on the
Yes.
spot. I've seen things on, not through our page, but on the neighborhood pages. People share it with me. So there's something that's going around, and it's not a city-sponsored thing, but I think there's a lot of discussion with it. There's certain areas of the city that are taking it upon themselves and decorate a certain theme or certain stuff. And I think there's a lot of people that are following that. And kudos to them. It's not a city-sponsored thing, but Do you know
Yeah.
anything about it, or maybe council knows? But
We're trees.
Wars.
what's
Yeah.
it called?
Inflatable wars.
It's called Inflatable Wars. For those who may have seen Beechwood Road last year with all the Santas, I think that's what initially got this going. And so there's 15, 20, 25 streets in Fort Mitchell that are designated with different themes. And so it'll be interesting. We just help advertise it. We're not affiliated with it, as the mayor said. But as we get closer, we might remind people to go out and see it.
It is fun
It is
to
fun.
see the inflatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fun too. It's cute.
I mean, we got trees. Who wants an inflatable tree?
We have,
I smell street captain next year for you.
Greg and I have
I'll take
dogs.
that. I'll take it next year.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Nick, you got anything?
Don't do something.
Recently wrapped up a couple items at the Public Works building. The fence that was put up around, that was torn down for the construction of the building and then re-put up in the spring. Had to wait for like the moisture to kind of cure out, and so that was recently stained. Property owners were all aware and worked with all of them and didn't have any issues with that. And the inside, the garage floor was also sealed. Looks really good, and won't have any issues with any sort of fluid leaks or anything like that. So those both turned out really well. And Chelsea reconstruction projects ongoing. Have a couple delays with weather and working around the bus schedule. So it's about 85% complete for the tear out, and then once that's finished, they'll be grading and then setting stakes for curb and gutter, pavement, driveway entrances, and that stuff. So getting a little closer, should be finished in the next couple weeks.
So we got some projects coming up, like we bid out and we're finishing design of Sunnymead area, right, and Cornell. That'll be springtime. Anything else?
And then Stonewell sidewalk will be sometime in the spring as well. Yep.
Speed humps.
Speed humps will probably be in the spring as well too. Yep.
A lot of those asphalt plants get ready to shut down and
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, they're busy trying to finish up a lot of jobs at this time of year, and it's just kind of hard to get something like that in their schedule at this point. But that's great work for them early on because, it's kind of bad weather early in the season, and they don't really have jobs that are kind of consistent enough because of the weather, so it's easy to fit in a job like speed humps here and there when they get a good weather day. So that's good spring work for them.
Any questions for
No, thank you, Nick.
Nick? Great, thanks. Chief Nader?
Good evening. I think I said it last meeting, but our new applicant will be sworn in by the mayor next Monday, 11 a.m. And he'll go to the academy, or start the academy in December. It's mostly online through February. And then he'll go downstate, and we'll get him back in June. And then he'll go through 16 to 20 weeks of FTO here. So hopefully by this time next year, he'll be on the street. That's how long it takes. We were able to order 2 new cars. So we're waiting for those to come in. I think it's 6 to 8 weeks. That's why you see cars down in the old Sallyport. Those are spare cars until we get new ones in, because cruisers run 12 hours a day and they break down. So think about your car running 12 hours a day, 40 hours a week. It's just constant wear and tear on the engine. So that's why we always have spares. The other cars you see sitting in the back are officers that can't take their cars home because they don't have space for it, or their streets don't allow cars to be parked on the street, that kind of reason. So that's where we are there. It is getting dark earlier, so of course we've had some car break-ins, and it's the same thing every year. Unlocked cars. It's been sporadic. It hasn't been bad, but yes, we've had that. And they've been checking it out. We've been pulling over a lot of Uber drivers for looking suspicious going around. So it's kind of funny at 3 o'clock in the morning, but we haven't caught the thieves yet. But who knows who they are? But we will get them eventually.
My neighbor was broken into, and his car was in the back of his house in the driveway, and the other one was in his driveway. So,
unlock cars.
Yeah, they're
Just lock them.
So it doesn't matter whether they're in your driveway or not.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Mayor, thank you. I think that is packet from our department heads. Is there anything else from the council?
Motion adjourned.
To adjourn, Mr. Dethridge.
Second.
Second, Mr. Arlinghouse. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Off by 5.
I know you are. Same.